Nestled amongst the hustle and bustle that surrounds Myrtle Beach is a quiet and peaceful little state park campground known as Myrtle Beach State Park. If you love to camp and you love the beach, then there's a chance you've either been here before or you think you might like to go. Today we thought we'd share with you a little bit about this park and what we've learned from camping here many times over the last 25 years. A few things you'll learn from this review: how much it costs to stay here at Myrtle Beach State Park and how that compares to the other campgrounds around here. A little bit about the booking experience and the check-in experience when you get here. We'll take a look at the sites and the campground, what there is to do around here, what amenities are included with the rate that you pay, and a few other things to help you decide if this might be a place you want to stay at the next time you visit Myrtle Beach. So let's talk about the cost of staying here and how that compares to other campgrounds in the area. Well, it's a very high state park rate compared to what it was even 10 years ago. You can expect to pay upwards of $70 to $75 per night, which is $5 more than the cheapest site you can get at the KOA in the middle of town with a lot more amenities. Speaking of town, there are 9 campgrounds within the city limits of Myrtle Beach. These campgrounds average in cost from $70 per night all the way up to $180 per night. Like many state parks, you can book this online at reserve.southcarolinaparks.com. And believe it or not, they usually have some type of availability most of the time. We very rarely have had issues with that, especially if you're willing to move from site to site every couple of days. The problem you'll run into, though, is online there's a 2-night minimum when you book. So if you're trying to book a Monday and Tuesday, and then you need to switch a site on Wednesday and then go back to another site for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, you won't be able to book that Wednesday, which is just a single night. So you'll end up having to call the 1-800 number to get that done. But that's a pleasant experience as well. When you arrive and turn on your turn signal and you've made that decision you're going to camp here and you pull in, you're going to be pleasantly surprised. It's not going to look like the crowds that you're used to seeing inside of Myrtle Beach and around that area. You're going to see this really shaded, beautiful drive-in to a gatehouse. That person there is going to tell you to proceed on to the check-in building, which will go by the pier and other places, and then you'll get there. And I think you'll find the check-in process is going to be very efficient. They'll check you in, get the information to you, get you a tag, and they'll send you to your site without an escort.
So we got an outside one. The place is packed. But this is what it looks like.
So let's take a look at some of the things you get with your site. You're going to notice that some of the roads are paved, some are not. But one thing they have in common, it's going to be really narrow and it's going to be a tight fit for bigger rigs. Some sections offer more privacy than others. Most are relatively level, most are deep enough for most rigs, and most have at least water and electric. Now, on to the fun things you can do. Well, you came here for the beach, and I'm betting that's going to be the #1 thing on the list. You can walk to the beach. Dogs are welcome on the beach early in the morning and late in the evening, and off-season all day long. There's a pier for fishing. There's a store. There's lots of ice cream and fun things to do there. There are hiking trails, and there's a boardwalk. You'll find bike trails and a nature center, and most of all, it's close to Myrtle Beach. Some of the amenities you're going to find is there are 2 stores. There'll be a gate that's locked every night when you leave, and you'll have a code. If you don't get a full hookup site, there's a dump station and water. They have lots of ranger-led activities. So a few other things you may want to know about it. It's extremely close to Myrtle Beach International Airport. Why does that matter? Well, if the wind is blowing the right, but maybe we should say the wrong direction, every airplane that lands at that airport is going to go right over your campsite. Now, these are major jets, and it gets loud, and they start early in the morning and go late into the evening. Some sites are a lot more private than others. In other words, some of the sites have a lot of vegetation in between each site, and some, well, you can see 3 sites down. One other thing that you may want to note, even though it is at the beach, if you're at one of the back 300 sites, the walk to the beach is a little over a mile, and you've got to carry everything there and carry it back. There is a parking area that you can get closer to the boardwalk, but just be aware of that because it's not like you're going to walk out of your campsite and 15 feet later be on the beach. One of the great things about it, though, it's a much less crowded beach. There are going to be times when you go there in the mornings and you may be the only person on the beach, and it's the middle of summer. Now, as the day heats up, it'll get a little more busy. There'll be guys out fishing, and there'll be kites flying, and there'll be people out having fun. But most of the people that come to this beach are people that are camping here. So you can count on a much less crowded experience than you're going to get just a little bit less than 3 miles down the road at the main Myrtle Beach area. So does that mean this is a really good choice for you to come to? Well, only you can really answer that. It really depends. It's getting close to being priced too high for what you get from this park. Depending on the wind, it can be extremely noisy. There's limited cell phone connectivity and little to no Wi-Fi. But if you want a more peaceful experience at a very crowded beach that offers lots of things to do, more than you can pack into 2 or 3 weeks there, then this is really, really hard to beat. And I think the price reflects that. We hope you've enjoyed this review. And we hope if you go, you'll reach back out to us and let us know what you think and how accurate we were and how we reviewed this beautiful place. And until we see you again, happy tales.
Days of romantic prose and lilac wine. Nights out under the sky, watching stars align. Days of making sweet honey, Melissa lemon balm. Nights as warm as your breath on my chest.